So here we're gonna learn that tension is dynamic. And it's not that they come in with a tension and they come and they get it resolved and they leave. Tension is very dynamic. So I'm going to draw tension in red and we'll do the promise in green. So, and these are each decision points. So first map out your patient journey and think of the most important decisions that they're gonna have to make in that journey. So the first is going to be to reach out and schedule an appointment. The next one is going to actually being to come and visit. Then it's going to be to accept treatment. And then it's going to be to accept and come back for recall. Again, this is for GPs. If you are doing a different model, then go ahead and map out that model. Now, when someone comes in, they have tension, but it's not as big as the tension should be or could be. They're tension because maybe their tooth hurts, but they don't really know the true picture. And the promise, the implicit promise that we never made, but that they may understand, is that if I go to the dentist, I can get this feeling resolved. So let's do this. Yeah, I'll mark tension as going down. So I have this tension, my tooth is hurting, and the promise that I understand is if I go to the dentist, I'm going to have that fixed and I will be back at baseline. All right, so now between they choose to schedule an appointment. Now we have to, well, during this, when we get them to decide to schedule an appointment, like think of all the people who decide not to schedule an appointment when they see an advertisement for a dental practice. There is no tension or the tension is too small. Sure, my teeth is sensitive to cold, but that tension is so minuscule that the gap isn't big enough for me to go ahead and justify this entire process. So for the people who are making an appointment, that means their tension was big enough and the promise of relief was enough of a forward momentum that it caused them to create an appointment, along with all the other influence that we had with the previous touch points. So think of at the decision, like how do they make the decision? And there could be a lot of ways they do this. So they could be making the decision as they walk into your office because they saw your sign, and they could be talking to the receptionist. That could be the point of decision. The point of decision could be on your website when they look up your hours and you have a online booking form, or it could be on an online booking form, or it could be like a contact form on your website. Or it could be to call in and actually like talk to someone on the phone. That could be the point of contact or the point of decision. So depending on how good of a job we did before this decision of illuminating their tension, the more likely it is that they're going to choose to move forward with this decision. So let's say someone is, they just have a mild discomfort. But through our touch points and things like that, we are able to get them to see that, okay, this is actually the problem. It's creating tension because now we're also giving them the promise that, hey, come get that looked at. We could probably take care of it for you. That is the promise, and the change in behavior is stop doing nothing about it, come schedule an appointment. So that behavior happens, and now let's say there is this gap between them scheduling their appointment and when they visit. So what is tension like there? Has tension grown? Has their situation grown? Possibly, but also have we given them information that gives them a clearer understanding of the risks that they're potentially taking, or even the benefits that they could be potentially having? Because if that's so, we're widening the gap. Are we able to also fulfill that promise? And let's say for some reason they make an appointment and the tension shrinks. They stop thinking about the actual problem. The problem goes away. It hurts less. Then you get an appointment, but you end up with a no-show. All right. So how are we keeping the tension? And I should have drawn the tension loop, but I think this is a good time to do it. So in this loop, how are we keeping the tension alive? How are we keeping the cycle going? so that they stay within this loop. And remember, trust has to be done throughout it, so we can't do anything gimmicky. All right, so now they make the visit, and now they're in the office. And this is typically this is typically where everyone focuses on. This is where we do the diagnostics, and then show them the X-ray, make them look at it, and then say that, hey, you can actually relieve all that, and then get them to acceptance. So this, I think, overall as a market, we're doing pretty good. This is where we've been struggling a lot. I see a lot of opportunity here. Of course, if you have to work on this, then work on this. But case acceptance, yeah, like the sales stuff is that's how you do it. You illuminate the risks they're taking, the downsides, and then you show them that it doesn't have to be that way. And that creates forward momentum. All right, and then one thing we're bad at is now with recall. Once they accept treatment, the tension is relieved, and we don't know how to build it again. This whole appointment visit buildup was so that we could relieve their tension here. So technically, by the time they come out here, they should have minuscule tension, or they should be a net positive, because we've taken care of their problem and hopefully have done even a little bit better for them. So the question or a thing people struggle with is, how do we work with recall then? And recall, what they try to do is they just say, hey, it's time for your appointment, come back into office, and we hope that they've built up enough tension and are aware of it. The other strategy is to build tension, continue building tension, so that when time calls for it and we need them to get the decision of making this, we help them understand the tension, we illuminate it, and then we make the promise, hey, come back, get the recall, get that taken care of.